So I've been able to observe human behavior in this very intimate way. By the way, if you're new here, hi, I'm Cher. Welcome to the Cher Effect. I've been a practicing psychotherapist for over 25 years now. And of course, there's a lot more I'm doing than just observing, but I've been taking notes all these years about the kinds of things that really can get us caught up and trapped in our own mind, in our own thinking, in our own approaches, in our own framework that disrupt our ability to put together sort of happy lives. And I think a happy life is built on wonderful routines, self-care, self-calming. After all, there's a lot that we need to do realistically in adult life to take care of our health, to be strong and vital. I want to talk about sort of the top 5 things that I see that really keep people stuck. And not just that, but what we could do, what you could do, what I do to make sure that I don't stay stuck. So if that sounds good, I'm going to run through those. You can put me on the background, you can grab a snack, you can grab a yoga block, stretch. Let's look at these together. Speaking of clear-mindedness, did you know that even just being in this forearm plank right now, I am secreting more BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor. What that is basically an antioxidant, anti-aging bath. So I'm really going to benefit from this tonight when I'm sleeping. This brain-derived neurotropic factor is going to wash over my brain like a bath, eliminating those free radicals and basically the garbage through the lymphatic system. So anytime we're doing any kind of workout, and specifically resistance training, we are increasing our BDNF. We all know when we've fallen off, eating some really bad foods, maybe drinking too much alcohol, maybe not moving, and everybody's very aware of that and often really feel badly about it and guilty about it, but don't have a really good defined sort of why. Like they know they should be doing better, but there's no like discernible, definable why in their life. Just it's sort of noise outside of them. What we need to do first is figure out what it means personally to you. Like, I want to be able to ski with my kids. I want to be able to go to a yoga practice and really, do some arm balances. Or I want to be able to travel and climb all the stairs. There has to be a definable, personalized reason to do this. And I think that often people are just feeling like it's something they're quote unquote supposed to do and then just have a lot of guilt over it. Hear a lot of, oh yeah, I really, January's coming, I really got to get on, go ahead and get my supplements or start taking my supplements again. And I'm not saying that supplements cannot be part of a really good routine. But girl, that's about 5th or 6th down the list of what you can be focusing on if we're not doing anything. I think one might want to start is like get a good nighttime routine and start working on your sleep hygiene. And then moving down, of course, to like what you're eating, get the highly processed, highly palatable foods out of your diet and working more towards a whole foods diet. Then movement, stress management, then maybe getting some blood work, figuring out where your levels are and where your inflammation is, and kind of finding out what you're even needing to focus on. And then somewhere down the line, when you sort of figured out where some of your levels are, then some supplements might be helpful. But in my mind, they are a fraction of a percentage of what we can be doing to move the needle, to make a difference. And of course, it's 2025. We can't talk about this subject without touching on social media influence and the trap of comparing ourselves to the images that we're seeing online. It bears repeating, we are looking at filtered, altered images. It is so easy to alter every bit of physiology through these sophisticated filters. And I'm sure it's extremely tempting for influencers to always come across their best selves. But that is what we are comparing ourselves to, not real people, real skin, real bodies. My pet peeve is the influencer who has some freak of nature ability, whether it's they can get into the deepest Asian squat you've ever seen, or they can bend over backwards, and they've got this sort of one talent and are showing off online and saying, you can do this too. And I think, we can do a lot, but I think that every body is made differently, and there are some things that some people just have a natural talent for. And so I don't think that we need to feel like, oh my God, I can't even do this basic thing. Sometimes I'll look at their body and go, well, my body doesn't look anything like that. Like my femur bones are not that long. So my butt doesn't reach the ground in the way theirs does in an Asian squat. So no, I can't do that thing that they're doing. I think we have to have forgiveness about our own body, the way it's made, the length of our bones, the tilt of our pelvis, the difference in how we're made up anatomically, and also remind ourselves we're comparing ourselves to edited versions of people online who are snapping the absolute best shot, best take, and that's not a fair comparison. So because of that comparison trap and a sort of an undefined why, people usually get 2 or 3 weeks, couple of months into a new habit, if that far, and hit a point of disillusionment because they're not looking like the influencer, the weightlifter, the whoever that they've been following. That usually leads to inconsistency. Having undefinable or undefined goals, having a sort of a fantasy mindset about what is going to be coming out of their routines leaves them falling off, not motivated, not wanting to do that routine anymore. Most people set their sights way too high. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. every day and go to boot camp. I'm going to be in the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week, instead of setting small, attainable goals that help them feel like they're proving to themselves that they will follow through on their habits. And then it usually ends up in the, well, I tried it, but it didn't work for me. So now we've got a confirmation bias of no matter how many calories I try to cut, or no matter how many, squats I do, it just didn't improve. And what didn't work was the sort of like reasonable, sustainable, and ongoing habits getting ingrained into our lives so that we can benefit over time. It is a very slow roll, and people often are in such a hurry to see like 6-week results. A good example is like the 75 hard. And great, I guess if you want to give yourself a challenge, those can be fun, but they often don't last. They're not sustainable. And after 75 days, we still need to keep doing things to take care of ourselves as adults on this planet. So what works? Well, here are my thoughts and things that I've tried and have really helped me stay consistent, stay ongoing, do my routines all year. And do I do them perfectly? No, that's the whole point. So starting with number 1 is a strong decision that this is what we're doing. We're the kind of person who builds strength, who works on our brain and our critical thinking and our self-development and being strong and being healthy and being vital, having a good, strong immune system, good, strong bones, good, strong muscle system, all of it. It's that strong decision. And here's a little tip that I think works. Don't tell anybody. Don't go telling anybody. Don't post it on social media. You make that promise to yourself, and you're the only person to stay accountable to. Just you. I think it is a much stronger move to do instead of talk or post. So whether it's the smallest thing, tomorrow I'm going to do 10 air squats. I'm going to hold a wall sit for 60 seconds. Smallest thing, whatever it is, you promise you that you're going to do that and don't tell anybody. Second, schedule it into your day. Put it on the calendar. It's too hard to get up extra early. You are not going to want to work out after work. Now, I understand not everyone can do this. Those of us who are in the medical profession, teachers, certain people hands-on cannot get away for an hour during the day. And all I can say is do the best you can. Park the car further away. Say, I'm going to walk out to the car 3 to 4 times. Decide if you work in a building that has stairs, I'm going to find a way to take those stairs 10 times today. I'll go to the bathroom on a different floor. Get creative. It's your promise to yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself, what does this look like? What would this look like if it were simple? On days like that, if I don't have the sort of mental bandwidth, I say, okay, if this were simple, I would do 2 supersets of legs and call it a day. What we're going to benefit is from the consistency over the entire year. Consistently doing some muscle activation, doing some mobility stuff, doing some walking, and mix it all in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be programmed. Probably most important is actually defining yourself differently. I'm the person who does strength training regularly. I work on mobility daily. I work on keeping my mind clear, using my critical thinking, learning something new, staying interested, staying engaged. I'm that person. And when you define yourself as that person, it sort of goes along that you're not going to be just dropping these habits by the wayside. It's not just a 90-day program. This is how I live, and it's worth it. These habits and routines lead me to have an enjoyable, pain-free, disease-free, mobile body, clear mind that I can enjoy every day because of my habits and routines. So let me know what you guys think. I'll meet you down in the comments. I love you guys. I'm excited to see you in the next one. Bye.